Africa has got to be free.
Greetings, everyone. I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. I will appreciate you for taking your precious time to watch this video. I'm Olani Moloi. I live in South Africa. And if you genuinely like this type of content, I will appreciate if you can just hit the subscribe button, that like button, like never before. But here's the problem. I know that many of you are now used to watching the short form content. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it has programmed our minds not to be patient enough to listen for about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. But in this video, I'm begging you to watch this video to an end, even if you are going to disagree with me. But it's important to watch this video.
Love them or hate them, the Afrikaners. Love them or hate them, the Afrikaners. But they gave us the country that was functional.
Love them or hate them is like we have to celebrate these people. We have to celebrate what they've done to us. But while you are celebrating them, celebrating their leadership, there's a mistake that people are making. Because now they are angry against African National Congress. They want to use that to promote the apartheid system, to say the apartheid system was better. It's like, for an example, in America, and you tell black Americans that slavery was better, how would they feel? If you are angry against the ANC and then you go back to the past and say apartheid system was better, then you are not different from sellouts. You're not different from sellouts. But let's continue.
As much as the Nationalist Party was cruel to humanity, but they left us with a functioning state.
That is why I'm like, there's no comparison here. There's no comparison. You cannot compare what African National Congress has done with what apartheid system has done. Because you cannot bring cruelty and then you say, okay, even though it was cruel, however, it was better. Better for who? Obvious, better for them. For an example, it's like growing up in a family. Just because you don't belong to that family, but it happened that you grew up in that particular family. They don't treat you well, but they always buy clothes for their children, do everything for their children and everything. But at the same time, they treat you bad. They segregate you. They discriminate against you. And then all of a sudden, you get yourself, like for an example, an opportunity to get out of that family. You go and live somewhere. And then you start saying, even though those people were abusive to me, but it was better. It was better for who? It was better for who? It was better for themselves, not for you. Even though they bought groceries and everything, but they were doing that for themselves. So same applies to the apartheid system. They did everything for themselves. So when you say it was better, yes, it was better, but for who? For themselves. They build cities for who? For themselves. They build railways for who? For themselves. They build even your places, your locations for who? For themselves. Not for you. But I know Right now as we speak, there are many people who are like, we have to vote for Peter Groenewald. You know why these videos are resurfacing? You have to know that right now there's a trend amongst many black people in South Africa to say we are sick and tired of African National Congress. So in other words, we have to bring back the apartheid system because the apartheid system was better. So most of the people who say the apartheid system was better is because many of them, they don't know the apartheid system. In other words, they were told by their parents, by their parents, and who are not telling the truth. Just because of the empty stomach, just because you're going through such and such, just because you're going through rough times right now under the administration of ANC, in your mind, you believe that the apartheid system was better. Was better for who? And where it was better? Yes, it might happen. Maybe some of you are not abused like others, because you have to understand that the apartheid system ruled all over South Africa, and that is why we have others who were abused more than others. And again, we have others who were abused less, but even though they were not given opportunities, but even though those things that were being built, it was not about them, but maybe just because they were not abused like that, they think apartheid system was better. Apartheid system was not better at all, because apartheid system was slavery. I've created multiple videos where I've proven that apartheid system was slavery. But here's the thing. I know that many of you now, you have Mandela mentality. You have like Mandela wisdom, that in other words, we have to, like, for an example, unite and etc. But when it comes to unity, you shouldn't be the only one singing unity when others don't even care. And now you see many black people, I'm telling you, they are going to vote for Peter Groenewald. And I don't want people to come crying after a couple of years, because you have to know that the unity that you are talking about is only one-sided. But there's a video that I want you to watch. I came across this video on TikTok, and I want you to watch this video so that when you cast your vote for these people, you are ready to expect whatever. Because some of you said you are even ready to get beaten as long as you can get, like, for an example, something to eat. You are ready to be abused there and there as long as you can get something to eat. Because I saw multiple videos on TikTok, black people saying all these things. And some of these black people were like, we thank HF Verwoerd for like building nuclear infrastructure and etc. Building it for who? For themselves, so that they can stand against whatever that will come and rescue you. Because you have to understand that back then there were various political parties, various people who were fighting against the system. So that is why this system of HF Verwoerd, they had to empower themselves when it comes to army, so that you don't stand a chance to be free. But without any waste of time, I just want you to listen to this video.
Ooga Booga says, "We are all from the same soil that created mankind, and there we shall return. I can never understand the logic of hating another based on the color of their skin, or thinking you are better than other, because we are all from the dust, and to the dust we shall return." Well, listen, I don't know if you know anything about mixing cement, but if you use different kinds of sand, colors specifically, you'll get a different color cement, and probably cement with different properties, different strengths. So, That alone tells me that you guys are obviously mixed from a type of extremely dark soil, whereas we are from a lighter soil. The soil you guys are from is obviously a very criminal soil that seems to prefer chicken to any other meat. See, the soil we are from is very different. Now, hating another based on the color of their skin? No, it's completely based on the content of the character. The content of the character just happens to be a generalization which is earned, or a stereotype which is earned by different peoples. You see, all races have general stereotypes. You guys earned yours because of the content of your character. So yeah, and equality gobbledygook, equality is a farce, no man.
Are you now ready for this? If you can go on TikTok and watch the people who left their comments on this video, you will be surprised. You will be surprised. These people who are preaching unity are just fake. It's only you, black people, who are like, we have to unite. But the reality is that when it comes to these white people here in South Africa, maybe it's only few people who are genuinely looking for unity. But the rest, go and look for those comments in that video. But my question is, are you ready? Are you, because some of you said you are ready for whatever. But are you ready for this? Because the man is telling you, whether you are against ANC right now and you are going to vote for them, after they have won, they will keep on reminding you again. They will keep on reminding you that you come from the darker soil, and that darker soil was full of criminality, and they came from the lighter soil. The person who made that comment on that video, because this guy was reacting on that comment, the person who made that comment was trying to bring peace, to say, no, we come from the very same soil, so we shouldn't be fighting against one another. But did you just hear how he responded or how he reacted to that comment? That no. You are from the darker soil, and everything that happened to you during slavery and colonialism, you earned it. Today you are being discriminated because you earned it. In other words, you deserved to be attacked. In other words, you deserved to lose your land. You deserved to go through transatlantic slave trade because of the content of your character. You see how are they twisting history? Do you see how are they twisting history? The reason today you are mentally enslaved is because of these people. Because they've stolen everything from you. Your identity, your culture, your confidence, or your self-esteem, and everything. And there are many people right now who are going to believe this mess. They will say, yes, indeed, say, we come from the darker soil, and this darker soil is full of criminality. And you come from the lighter soil, the better one. This is what they've been teaching. This is what even Christianity has been teaching. This is what even Christianity is founded upon. Are you ready? The reason I wanted you to watch this video to an end, or to this level, is because I want you to make a sober decision to say, okay, let's go. And we are ready. And we are ready. And while you are ready, you have to consider yourself, like you have to agree with this gentleman that you come from the darker soil. You have to agree that you come from the darker soil. And once they take over, you cannot participate. You will only be a recipient. You'll only be a slave. In other words, you'll have to accept whatever they give to you in the name of grace, because they are gracious from the lighter soil. It's time for you to make the right decision. So those who are saying apartheid system will come back, they are not joking. They are not joking. If you watch these people leaving comments, we are even better. We are even better. You can tell that they don't care. They don't care. It's only a few percentage, if not zero, a few percentage of white people in South Africa who are like, you know what, this reconciliation has to be genuine. We are for reconciliation, irregardless of what ANC has done, because you have to understand that there's a colonizer on top of the head of African National Congress, so that they can prove that indeed we are failures. But at the end of the day, it's your own choice. At the end of the day, it's your own choice. Because even the creator of everything, the one who is in charge, the one who is in control, if you decide to take this move, he cannot stop you. Go ahead, make your own decisions, but you have to know your level. You should never think about equality, that you are going to be equal with them when they take over. Never think about that. You have to be ready to say, yes, I give them my vote, but when it comes to level, I'm from the darker soil and I'm going to expect whatever they give to me. So this video is not out of hate, but I'm reacting from this hate. Thank you very much. If you would like to support this channel, please hit the subscribe button, that like button, like never before.